Ah, the tangled webs we weave.
What's going on, y'all? It's David and we are back with yet another Borderlands 3 video for y'all. Are you guys tired of using legendary grenades, or are you tired of trying to farm Grave Ward or whoever for perfect grenade mods? Well, this video is perfect for you because I will be covering the top 10 best purple grenade mods in the game. These grenades are really amazing, and most, if not all of them, are potentially as good as legendary grenade mods, if not better than most of them. And the best part is that you can find these from vending machines instead of having to farm them from enemies. I will separate each of the mods by element and make sure to explain what each effect of the mod means, and hopefully you'll be able to see each part in action. If you like the video, please make sure to drop me a like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate the heck out of each and every one of you just taking the time to even watch this video. If you leave me a comment, I'll also make sure that I reply to every single one of you awesome people. So kicking off our top 10 purple grenades for Borderlands 3, I'll start with the incendiary grenade mods. Number 1 is going to be the lingering precipitator contact grenade. So the effects on this grenade are impact, rain, jumping, and flamer. Impact means that the grenades explode and go off once impacting something, whether it be a wall, the ground, or an enemy, or even your allies. Rain means that once impacted, the grenade shoots a little bit of ways into the air, and then it fires down 3 grenades coming out from the initial grenade. Jumping means that the grenades that are fired out from the rain grenades jump once and deal extra damage after the jump. And finally, flamer means that each grenade fires flames out of the sides of them for the duration of the grenade. This grenade mod is great for smaller mobs of enemies and does decent incendiary damage. Also, it's good for throwing it into tight spaces or just basically into groups of enemies. Number 2 on our list is the large Mervtacular Exploder. The effects on this grenade are Exploder, Merv, another Merv, and large. Exploder means that the grenades explode on impact of an enemy, so while similar to impact grenades, exploders do not explode when thrown at walls or the ground or your allies. Merv means that once the initial grenade explodes, it spawns out 3 smaller Merv grenades that deal damage. But since this one has double Merv, it means that it spawns out 6 Mervs instead of the usual 3. And finally, large means that the explosion radius on the grenade is 20% larger. This grenade mod is also extremely useful for smaller mobs of enemies, and it does surprisingly good incendiary damage. Number 3 on our list is our last incendiary grenade, and that is the elemental persistent contact grenade. The effects for this one are impact, flamer, another flamer, and elemental damage. Impact means that this grenade explodes on impact. Flamer means that this grenade fires flames out of the sides for a short duration, but since this has 2 flamer effects on it, it fires out 4 bursts instead of the usual 2 bursts. And finally, the elemental damage effect means that this grenade has plus 20% extra elemental damage and a plus 85% chance for whatever element it is attuned with. This grenade is actually great against mobs and also single targets. It does decent incendiary damage and it covers a large area. Also, a side note, I'm not sure if this is intentional, but I find a ton of this exact grenade mod from the Mogwai farm on Eden 6. Number 4 on our list is the first of our 2 cryo grenade mods, and that is the Singularity Twin Pillar Contact Grenade. The effects on this one are Impact, Divider, Chiller, and Singularity. Impact makes the grenade explode on impact. Divider means that the grenade splits into 2 grenades very shortly after being thrown. Chiller makes it so that the grenade shoots out cryo damage bursts from the sides for a short time. And lastly, Singularity means that the grenade, once it's impacted, generates a singularity that pulls nearby enemies towards the center for a very short duration. This grenade mod does not deal the best damage, but one thing that I noticed about this mod, and just cryo grenades in general, is that they are extremely potent as crowd control tools. This grenade should be used as a means to help you apply cryo to enemies as efficiently as possible, and with the right build, your enemies could have little to no chance of movement. Number 5 is our other cryo grenade mod, the Whispering Ice, which is actually the only grenade mod on this list that you can get from main story missions instead of from a vending machine or a world drop. The effects on this grenade are Impact, Whispering Ice, and Singularity. Impact makes the grenade explode on impact. Whispering Ice means that the grenade drops 6 sticky cryo grenades in a circle around the initial explosion, and these sticky grenades detonate and impale enemies that get too close to them. And finally, Singularity means that the grenade generates a singularity to pull enemies in. Unlike other grenades, I found that this grenade's singularity seems to be a tad stronger than the normal singularity grenades, and it actually throws the enemies after pulling them in. I actually found a very funny interaction where if you line these grenades up, the grenades can pull enemies in a chain and eventually just shoot them and make them fly. This grenade mod has multiple uses like crowd control, for my icicle flinging idea, or even just for damage since it does some really impressive damage. Number 6 on the list is our first radiation grenade mod out of the 2 that I have here, and that is the Clusterfuck Exploder. The effects on this one are Exploder, Merv, and Mini Merv. Exploder means that the grenade explodes when impacting an enemy. Merv means that the grenade spawns Mervs, and Mini Merv means that the Mervs that spawn from the initial grenade generate their very own Mervs that drop when those blow up, meaning that there is basically a clusterfuck of explosions that happen. This grenade is fantastic for groups of enemies, and the explosions that this grenade causes coupled with the radiation explosions can lead to some crazy chain reactions. I believe that this mod comes in all elements, but radiation is by far my favorite. If you are planning on getting this particular grenade mod, definitely look for the radiation damage one, because when enemies affected by radiation die, they blow up, dealing AoE radiation damage and affecting enemies around them with radiation. Number 7 is our second of the 2 radiation grenade mods, and that is the Monsoon Contact grenade. The effects on this grenade are Impact, Rain, and Blight. Impact means that the grenades explode on impact, Rain means that the grenade launches up and fires 3 grenades down around it, and Blight means that the grenades shoot out radiation damage bursts from the sides for a short duration. This grenade mod only has 3 effects instead of the normal 4, so it can actually definitely be improved upon. I'm currently looking for one of these with another Blight effect or some sort of Merv effect. This grenade is really useful for radiation builds and can lead to some devastating damage to mobs of enemies or in tight spaces. Number 8 is our only corrosive grenade mod on this list, and that is the Cloning Barrage Contact grenade. The effects of this one are Impact, Divider, Artillery, and Corruptor. Impact means that the grenade explodes on impact, and Divider means that the grenade splits into 2 in flight. Artillery means that the grenade fires bullets in a short radius all around the grenade that deal damage according to the element, and Corruptor means that the grenade shoots out 2 bursts of corrosive damage out of the sides for a short duration. This grenade mod does really good elemental damage and can shred the armor off of enemies in no time. In certain builds where you can buff your corrosive damage with skills or something like the Flesh Melter artifact, this grenade can output some massive DPS to enemies. Number 9 is our only shock damage mod on this list, and that is the Lingering Delayed Gratification Contact grenade. This mod comes with the effects of Impact, Tesla, Tesla again, and Sticky. Impact means that the grenade explodes on impact, Tesla means that the grenade shocks nearby enemies for 4 seconds, and since it has double Tesla effect, the duration is bumped up to 6 seconds. Sticky means that the grenade sticks onto targets when thrown or sticks onto surfaces and will deal plus 25% damage if stuck onto a target. If you're in need of a good shield destroying weapon and you don't have something like the shock damage Hex or Brainstormer or other shock element weapons, definitely find yourself one of these. All you need is some decent aim to stick this onto your target and you've got yourself a really good shield stripper. The area of effect isn't too large, but you'll mainly want to be using this for taking the shields off of larger targets. Finally, at number 10, we have a non-elemental grenade that is probably my favorite on this list, the Cloning Recurring Tracker. Fans of the Hex grenade, or even other homing legendary grenades in general, might like this one. The effects on it are Homing, Divider, Divider again, and Merv. Homing means that the grenade homes in on the closest target once thrown. It also means that any extra grenades or Mervs that spawn out from this are also homing. Divider means that the grenade splits into 2 once thrown. but 2 divider effects means that the grenade instead splits into 3 once thrown. And finally, Merv means that the grenade spawns 3 Mervs once they explode. This grenade outputs some incredible damage with all of the grenades that it provides, and it doesn't even require you to aim. It can be used for good single target damage or even great damage for just chucking it into mobs of enemies. It's not as flashy as say the Hex, but it definitely gets the job done. So that is actually going to wrap it up for my top 10 purple grenade mods list. This list took an insane amount of time to look over hundreds and hundreds of vending machines and hundreds of purple grenades to pick out at least one for each element and pick out my favorite ones. If you could just leave me a like and maybe a comment on which one you want to try out, that would be so much appreciated. If you're on PS4 and want to try one of these, let me know down below in a comment and I'll add you and send you one. If you're on Xbox or PC though, still leave a like and a comment and maybe someone else can help you out there. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my future content, and I will check you all in the next video. See ya!
Opposites attracted, magnetic and irreplaceable. Picture perfect, photogenic, douse diminished. Yes, I'm finished acting like nobody has my back. Girl, you told me that I'ma keep you steady on your path, so I'm knowing.